Hello everyone, good afternoon. I hope you all can hear me and see me. Please write yes in the chat. Okay, great. Thank you for the confirmation. Good afternoon, Arpit sir. Welcome back to the Stockholm session. This is the first afternoon trading session of the week, and today's session we have Mr. Arpit Beriwal sir with us. Arpit sir, you can take a minute, share the screen, then we can start the session. So, like always, we'll start with the index outlook, quick overview on the Sensex as we have the monthly expiry tomorrow. Any index trade or the strategy index trade we have possible for today. We'll initiate with that, then we'll move towards the BTST for the day, and then we'll move towards the queries, depending upon the time that we have. So, Arpit sir, we are all set. You are clearly visible. Your screen is visible. You can start.
Okay, perfect, Anuj. Very good afternoon, guys. So today, as rightly Anuj mentioned, this is the start of a new week. The new series is already started. That is a May series. But as per the date-wise, we are still in the April month. So 30th would be a closing series for the April series. However, tomorrow we'll be having Bankex and Sensex monthly expiry. So definitely there will be a lot of opportunities from the expiry point of view. And apart from that, the flow for the session will be followed by starting with index, followed by the broader market outlook, CDI calls, BTST, STBT, and index and option strategy trade as per the market setup wise. So starting with first and foremost Nifty, as this is our prime index, starting with Nifty. So last week we have seen some choppy movement due to the onset going geopolitical tensions. However, in spite of that geopolitical tensions, good recovery was seen from the lower levels. And if we see the daily chart of Nifty, but before that, I would like to pull out the weekly chart. So that will give you much more better conviction and much more clarity. So I'll just a minute. I'm just taking out the weekly chart. Yeah. So if I see the weekly chart, the trend of the index is in strong uptrend. From past 4 weeks, it is forming higher low that clearly indicates that buying is visible at lower levels. Having said that, obviously volatility will be there, but as it said that volatility is your friend if we know how to play it. Talking about the daily chart, from last 4 to 5 days, Nifty was trading in a range. Friday, if we see the black line, it has clearly retested its previous breakout zone, that is 23,850. हम काफी टाइम से पहले बोलते थे 23,850 एक मेजर सप्लाई जोन है. फ्राइडे को उधर ही लो टच किया है, वहां से हमने एक अच्छी रिकवरी देखी. आज वापस हमने फॉलो अप बाइंग देखी है. पॉजिटिव होने के बाद वी हैव सीन स्लो एंड स्टेडीली अपटिक, मेनली लेड बाय बैंकिंग एंड रिलायंस. So Nifty overall bias is positive till it holds above 24,200 on the immediate basis, and positional stop loss would be 24,050. So 24,050 एक major support है. Upper band में 24,444, 24,444, and then for the further up move 24,800, that will be the positional target. But उसके बीच में definitely result season चल रहा है, so stock specific action काफी रहेगा, and we have to play that blend. Having said that, the directional view till the time Nifty holds about 24,050, that would be a positional stop loss. A bias would be positive for 24,444, 24,800 levels, and on immediate basis 24,200 would be the intraday support for any positive stance. So थोड़ा सा हमने ऊपर से cool off देखा है, but still the trend is positive. Now talking about the alpha or the big momentum index, that is Bank Nifty, and we have seen one of the classical series of Bank Nifty move in last couple of weeks. So last 2 से 3 दिन में नए लाइफ हाई टच किए थे towards 56,000. वहां से हमने कूल ऑफ देखा. इट हैज रीटेस्टेड इट्स प्रीवियस ब्रेकआउट जोन, गैप को भी फिल किया है 54,000 के अराउंड. एंड टुडे अगेन वी हैव सीन गुड मोमेंटम अक्रॉस द प्राइवेट बैंक स्पेस. सो बैंक निफ्टी भी ओवरऑल सेटअप वाइज देखे तो एक ब्रॉडर रेंज में है. नीचे में 54,500 वुड बी द मेजर सपोर्ट, दैट इज द प्रीवियस लाइफ हाइज. अपर बैंड 55,555, दैट्स द मैजिकल नंबर, एंड देन 56,500. सो बैंक निफ्टी ओवरऑल बायस इज पॉजिटिव till it holds above 54,500 levels. थोड़े लेवल्स बढ़े बिकॉज वोलेटिलिटी हमने देखी बेटे 2 से 3 दिनों में, जिसके वजह से हमें एक पोजिशनल लेवल्स को दिमाग में रख के प्ले करना होगा. इमीडिएट बेसिस पे 55,000 would be the immediate support for Bank Nifty. Within that, stock specific action we have seen. So 2 private banks results are still due, that 2 banking results are due, that is SBI and Kotak, जो ये वीक के एंड में रहेगा अराउंड 3rd में. Apart from that, बाकी banks में ICICI, Axis and HDFC have already come out their results. So definitely banking is in flavor, and definitely movement is there. So overall 54,500 would be the major support for Bank Nifty, immediate 55,000, upside में 56,000 and then 56,500 levels. So Nifty Bank Nifty both view is positive. However, swings would be there because the ongoing geopolitical tension, there could be volatility because of that. Apart from that, if we see the broader market, फ्राइडे को हमने काफी कूल ऑफ देखा था ब्रॉडर मार्केट में, बट आज वापस अच्छी बात है कि थोड़ी रिकवरी हमने देखी है. एंड गोइंग फॉरवर्ड हमारा व्यू है कि नेक्स्ट कपल ऑफ डेज से वीक्स तक का ओवरऑल इंडेक्स एक ब्रॉडर रेंज में रहेगा और स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक में काफी बढ़िया मोमेंटम रहेगा. सो हमें ये समझना है कि कौन से सेक्टर्स में मोमेंटम है, कौन से स्टॉक्स में मोमेंटम है, एंड वील ट्राई टू मेक द मोस्ट ऑफ इट टू प्ले दैट स्विंग. As we're discussing, first I'll talk about the BTST that we have already shared and flash and terminal, that is from the defense pack, that is defense and shipping space, that is Mazdog. So Mazdog का हम चार्ट स्ट्रक्चर देखें तो बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग अप ट्रेंड में है. मंथली स्केल पे मार्केट की वीकनेस के बाद भी इट वाज जस्ट कंसोलिडेटिंग एंड एक अच्छा बेस फॉर्मेशन हो गया है मंथली स्केल पे. सो 2600 25 550 इज अ मेजर सपोर्ट जोन. सेटअप वाइज हमें लग रहा है यहाँ से अनदर 100 to 70 to 80 100 पॉइंट्स का मूव और आ सकता है. सो मस्डॉग वुड बी फर्स्ट BTST. 2775 की क्लोजिंग है. 2760 से 2775 के रेंज में बाय कर सकते हैं. 2720 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के ऊपर 2900 के टारगेट के लिए मस्डॉग वुड बी फर्स्ट BTST ट्रेड. सो आई विल रिपीट द लेवल्स. अभी चल रहा है मस्डॉग 2770 के अराउंड. 2760 से लेके 2770 की रेंज में बाय कर सकते हैं. 2720 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के ऊपर 2900 के टारगेट के लिए मस्डॉग वुड बी फर्स्ट BTST ट्रेड. आई होप अनुज द लेवल्स आर क्लियर.
Yes, sir. I'll just repeat. BTST Mazdog 2760 to 2770 buy, stop loss 2730, target 2900.
Perfect. Coming on to the broader market, as you see कि mid cap and small cap में भी थोड़ा सा pull back आया है, but sector specific would be more important. So I'll directly touch upon few stocks that are looking good. First would be HAL. So defense pack हमने देखे. So जो जून में लास्ट टॉप आउट हुआ था जून 2024 से, वहां से कंटिन्यूअसली डाउन ट्रेंड में था इंडेक्स, बट लास्ट कपल ऑफ मंथ्स में काइंड ऑफ पूरे बॉटम बन गया है इस इंडेक्स में. एंड उसमें अगर हम HL का स्ट्रक्चर देखें, सो आई विल पुल आउट द चार्ट ऑफ HL मंथली टाइम फ्रेम. ऑलमोस्ट आफ्टर 9 to 10 मंथ्स लोअर हाइज को नेगेट किया है, स्ट्रॉन्ग बुलिश एंगल्फिंग पैटर्न बनाया है. वीकली स्केल पे ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ इस रेंज ब्रेकआउट है. सो आई थिंक डेफिनेटली यहाँ से हमें 4 से 5% का मूव दिख सकता है आने वाले कुछ दिनों में. सो फर्स्ट CDI कॉल फ्रॉम द डिफेंस पैक वुड बी HAL. बाय अभी चल रहा है 4400 के अराउंड. 4380 से लेके 4400 के रेंज में बाय कर सकते हैं. 4200 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के ऊपर 4750 के टारगेट पे HAL वुड बी अ फर्स्ट CDI कॉल. Anuj, you have mentioned the levels for HL?
Just doing so.
No problem. As Anuj is just updating on the levels, second would be from the banking space. So ICICI, we have been quite bullish on this counter, and this is the counter. This has primarily led the Bank Nifty rally, predominant the major contributor. So very strong uptrend on the monthly scale, weekly scale also. Some cool off was seen in the last week, but today again a strong bullish candle. Lower rise negation, strong bullish candle, holding a life high territory, almost a range breakout. So definitely we can see good momentum towards 1460, 1480 levels. So ICICI Bank within the private bank space would be our preferred pick. 1420 से लेके 1425 के रेंज में बाय कर सकते हैं. 1390 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के ऊपर 1480 के टारगेट के लिए ICICI Bank would be a second CDI call. As we are discussing, some cool off we have seen in the in Nifty and Bank Nifty on intraday charts. So Nifty has seen slide of almost 70 to 80 points, and if you see clearly 24,350 is that is supply zone. So we are talking about, so but at the same time multiple supports are entitled to the low levels. So you have to be very much quick enough and you have to understand the range, what kind of range that we are playing out, and accordingly you have to set up the range for the indices, because going forward indices would be in that range, and accordingly you have to play that swing. So it's very important to keep your stop losses and your upside and the downside levels beforehand to play that swing. So अगर आप इंट्राडे चार्ट पे देखें तो 23,24,350 के वहां से थोड़ा सा कूल ऑफ हुआ है 70-80 पॉइंट का. लेट मी पुल आउट द बैंक निफ्टी चार्ट. तो 55,500 था, वहां से बैंक निफ्टी में भी 100 से 150 पॉइंट का थोड़ा सा कूल ऑफ हुआ है. बट लेवल्स वाइज में निफ्टी में 24,200 और बैंक निफ्टी में 55,000. जब तक ये दोनों स्पॉट लेवल्स के ऊपर रहते हैं हमारा बायस पॉजिटिव रहेगा इन निफ्टी एंड बैंक निफ्टी. स्टॉक्स हमने दो शेयर किया एज ऑफ नाउ, दैट इज फ्रॉम द सीडीआई आईसीआईसीआई बैंक एंड एचएल एंड बीटीएसटी. वी हैव ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड मस्टडॉग. Apart from that, the broader market, if you see, we have seen good pullback and sector specific action hai. If I look at the greed and fear indicator, India VIX higher highs bana raha hai पिछले 3 से 4 दिनों से. But as of now, there is no major spike. Definitely premiums are there, but as of now, there is no major spike. आज ऊपर से थोड़ा सा cool off हुआ है, but broadly एक range में है and वो हमें range play out करनी पड़ेगी. One important thing that I like to mention is the result season is going on. So definitely, guys, whatever positions you are building up, especially in the derivative segment through futures and options, keep your positions hedged overnight because the impact of result can be on the positive side or on the negative side depending upon the commentary and the result outcome. So keep your positions hedged. As we are discussing, Anuj, we can take few stock queries in the meantime, and then we can look out for Sensex strategy for tomorrow as per the setup wise, and we'll update on that.
So UPL quantity 50 at 680.
UPL.
Yeah.
680. So overall fertilizer chemical sector is in very strong uptrend. Setup wise, weekly scale a range breakout above 660 levels. Some cool off seen from high levels, but the setup position is strong. जब तक ये 650 के ऊपर है, a bias will be positive for 700, 720. So continue to hold the stock with stop loss of 650 levels.
So
Reliance actually a very significant stock that has given a range breakout after almost 4 to 5 months post its earning season, post its earning outcome. So let me pull out the weekly chart. For a very long time, the stock was facing a hurdle near 1335 levels, 1340 levels from last almost 3 to 4 months. But finally, it has given a range breakout on the weekly scale above 1320 levels. And I think overall, the bias of the trend of the stock has changed from sideways to positive. Slowly, the stock can head towards 1400, 1420 levels. So overall bias is positive with stop loss of 1320. The stock can head towards 1400, 1420 levels.
So Infosys.
IT sector, if you see, it has been a mixed bag. Few stocks are performing, few stocks are underperforming. And if I look at the chart setup wise, it's nothing great as such. It is near support zone, but still there is no major momentum per se. So I think range bound counter है 1440 से लेके ऊपर 1520 तक की range है. Within the IT pack, I would better suggest कि shift to better counters within the IT pack. Infosys broadly in the range 1440 से लेके ऊपर 1520 की range.
Sir, BDL buying range.
BDL, Bharat Dynamics, right? Yeah. So in fact, the entire defense space has seen good momentum in last couple of days, and especially BDL has given a range breakout above 1360, 1380 levels. Slowly, the stock is moving higher. So setup wise, अगर हम देखें, आज भी stock काफी ऊपर है. Let me pull out the intraday charts on daily chart. So अगर पोजिशनल के बारे में अगर बात करें, इमीडिएट सपोर्ट पोजिशन अगर देखें तो हमें 1600 तक की जगह दिख रही है, बट इमीडिएट बेसिस पे 1380, 1400. सो आई सी द इमीडिएट लो 1420 would be the good buying zone. 1420 से लेके 1440 would be a good buying zone for this counter. 1420 से 1440 की रेंज में तो आप बाय कर सकते हैं. 1360 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के ऊपर 1600 के टारगेट.
Sir, LTF bought at 180.64. Whether to hold or exit?
LTF?
Yeah.
What is the prime buying price?
180.64.
Okay. So I think this impact has been post its result, and already we are seeing a very significant impact on its earnings on the stock after its result outcome. So chart setup wise, 160 is a major support. आज वहाँ ही उसको रिटेस्ट किया है, वहां से हमने थोड़ा सा रिकवरी देखी है. I think let's better to wait for a day, and currently it's has retest its previous breakout zone. So setup wise 160 एक immediate support है, ऊपर में hurdle ही 180 है जो आपका buying price है. So we can do one thing, we can better to wait at this level. कल अगर follow up buying होती है तो आप add कर सकते हैं to average it out with keeping stop loss of 159 for its slow and steadily move upward towards 170 to 175 levels. आज के लिए better आप wait करें इसकी closing का. कल इसके फॉलो बाइंग आती है तो आप ऐड कर सकते हैं 159 का स्टॉप लॉस रख के ऊपर धीरे धीरे 170 एंड देन 175 के मूव के लिए.
So Bajaj Housing Finance at 150, 500 quantity.
Sorry?
500 quantity at 150.
Setup wise, slowly the stock is moving higher. And if I see the stock is broadly moving the rising channel and stock is taking a hurdle at its upper band, lower band if you see it's at its near lower band around 120 levels. So I think chart setup wise एक range में है, नीचे में 120 का सपोर्ट है, ऊपर में 130 135 का हर्डल है. अगर आपने पहले लिया हुआ है तो आप ये लेवल पे एवरेज कर सकते हैं 119 का स्टॉप लॉस दिमाग में रख के क्लोजिंग बेसिस पे ऊपर में धीरे धीरे हमें वापस 128 132 तक का मूव दिख सकता है आने वाला कुछ दिनों में.
So emphasis bought at 2480.
Another mid cap IT counter. So setup wise, if we see 28, what is the buying price, Anuj?
2480.
So the stock is trading near its buying price itself. So अगर मैं daily scale पे देखूँ तो 2520 पिछली बार ऑलमोस्ट मार्च सीरीज से वहीं से वहां पे सेलिंग आई थी टुवर्ड्स 2100 तक का. स्टॉक अभी वहां पे थोड़ा वहीं पॉज किया है. सो आई थिंक इट्स ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ द ब्रेकआउट. सो ओवर हियर इट्स बेटर आप 2520 के ऊपर क्लोजिंग आती है तब आप उसको होल्ड कर सकते हैं. या तो ऑलरेडी आपने पोजीशन ली हुई है तो आप स्टॉप लॉस मेंटेन करके 2420 का 2420 वुड बी अ मेजर सपोर्ट फॉर दिस काउंटर. 2520 के ऊपर मेजर ब्रेकआउट रहेगा टुवर्ड्स 2700 लेवल्स. Coming back to the setup wise for Nifty and Sensex and for Bank Nifty, so let me pull out the chart. So थोड़ा सा हमने dip देखा है, but जैसे हमने देखा overall structure bias positive है, so ये dip को हमें capitalize करना है, so we can do through option strategy. So if you see the overall tomorrow we have Sensex and Bankex expiry, but as Sensex is widely traded and especially on the monthly expiry day, so we can go with Sensex expiry through option strategy, that is bull call spread. तो अगर आप सेंसेक्स देखें तो 80,000 के अराउंड ट्रेड कर रहा है अभी एंड बायस ओवरऑल हमारा पॉजिटिव है. एंड टू प्ले दिस अपस्विंग वी कैन गो विद थ्रू बुल कॉल स्प्रेड जिसमें आप 80,200 का कॉल बाय करेंगे, 80,500 का कॉल सेल करेंगे विद कॉस्टिंग ऑफ अराउंड 80 to 90 पॉइंट्स. स्टॉप लॉस रहेगा 30 पॉइंट्स का, टारगेट रहेगा 200 पॉइंट्स का. आई विल रिपीट, to play the uptick in Sensex for tomorrow's monthly expiry, one can go with bull call spread in which आप 80,200 का call buy करेंगे, 80,500 का call sell करेंगे. Net cost of around 80 to 90 points. Stop loss would be 30 points. Target would be 200 points. I think the strategy levels and the premiums are clear, Anuj, at your front.
Yes, sir. I'm just repeating. Bull call spread buy Sensex 80,200 call, sell Sensex 80,500 call, combined premium 80 to 90, stop loss 30, target 200.
Absolutely. And one more thing that you have to understand, guys, looking at the overall setup wise, as we discuss about index a lot, also about stocks. So the trend of the market has been quite choppy for last 2 to 3 days. But before that, there were very trending moves. So you have to understand when there's a trending momentum, better to go through directional spreads in which you will make able to generate additional alpha. And कभी कभार market एक range में रहता है तो आप छोटे spread भी बिठा सकते हैं. So this is what the option strategy helps to play you a lot. कि अगर बड़े moves भी play करने हैं तो आप overnight option strategy के थ्रू play कर सकते हैं. Overnight risk आपका काफी reduce हो जाता है. And at the same time अगर range छोटी है या smaller wider range narrow range में trade कर रहा है, accordingly आप spreads भी छोटे बिठा सकते हैं, whether it's Sensex, Nifty or Bank. Coming on to that, few ideas we have already shared with CDI. Result season is already going on. Tomorrow we'll have monthly expiry for Sensex and Bankex. Then we'll be having Wednesday for Nifty expiry. Thursday we are off. So obviously next 2 days would be crucial. And looking at the chart setup wise, Nifty heavyweights are holding. So that's a good sign that Reliance and banking space is holding. That is clearly providing some comfort to the bulls at the lower levels. So you have to play that stance as per the level wise. Coming on to that, Nifty, some recovery on the smaller time frame chart, but overall bias would be positive. BTST हमने as of now एक मस्टॉक शेयर किया है and two CDR calls we have shared, one Sensex strategy we have shared. Anuj, again we can take few stock queries in the meantime, and if we get any additional BTST setups, because there is good action seen in broader market, so at least try to capitalize on that. So we'll update on that.
Got it. KPI tech for short term.
KPIT.
Yeah.
If I pull out the bigger time frame structure, this counter relatively has been quite volatile, and from last almost couple of weeks the stock was in totally downtrend. So mid cap IT में थोड़ी recovery हमने देखी पिछले 1 से 2 हफ्तों में, तो थोड़ा इसमें भी momentum आया, but setup wise range with upside cap है काउंटर में. 1280 का एक मेजर हर्डल है, फ्लैश मोमेंटम 1280 के ऊपर ही होता है. अगर आपने पहले लिया है तो आप 1280 तक के लेवल तक का बुक कर सकते हैं. फ्रेश ट्रेड की इनिशिएशन में बेटर वेट करें, बिकॉज सब काउंटर्स का जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो सिमिलर नहीं है, एंड इसका अगर बड़ा स्ट्रक्चर अभी हम देखें तो भी पेन में है. सो 1280 तक आता है, वहां पे प्रॉफिट आप बुक करें. नई ट्रेड इनिशिएशन के लिए बेटर वेट करें. 1280 वुड बी a major level to watch out for.
So Ultratech Cement for BTST.
Yes, but today we have result. That's why we are avoiding. If we see from monthly setup, it's a very strong chart setup. Positional setup के हिसाब से काफी strong है, but result है. So that's why we are avoiding, because we really don't know what will be the outcome or the result. Level wise 11,700 का major support है. ऊपर में लाइफ हाई टेरिटरी के पास ही खड़ा हुआ है. So ऊपर में 12,500, 12,800 would be the hurdle.
Hudco bought at 230.
Hudco, if we see the chart setup wise, though it has come in the FNO space, if I pull out the daily structure wise, sideways it's broadly on the lower band 212, on the upper band 235. So overall sideways, there's no major momentum. I think better to exit the position in this counter and shift to some other counter that are more trending, that are more strong. So एक range bound है, अगर already buying price के आजू बाजू चल रहा है तो better to exit. बाकी support level wise में 215 का support है, ऊपर में 235 का hurdle है. Cipla.
Cipla.
Yeah. If I see the chart set over Pharma has been quite defensive and quite outperforming in this choppy market. So setup wise, almost on the range of it has given a range breakout on the weekly scale above 1540 levels. Higher lows formation is intact, strong bullish candle, and I think slowly, steadily the stock can head towards 1600, 1620 levels. So bias is overall positive, but one important thing is keep result date in mind. If the results are already surpassed, then it's fine, but also keep a track onto that. That would be very much helpful going forward.
So Tejas Network.
Yeah. So before that, I'll just like to see the chart setup on the index trade if we can get any on intraday basis, because some recovery we have seen. Let me pull out the intraday charts on 15-minute time frame. Yeah. So Bank Nifty has seen some recovery from the lower levels. It has retested its previous breakout zone. Though stocks are sideways, but still the bias is still positive. So 300 वाला वापस Bank Nifty around 400 हुआ है. So that's fine. The good part is that the buying is visible at lower levels. So that's important going forward for next couple of days also. Coming on to the stock query, Tejas Network, right?
Yeah.
Let me have a look at the bigger time frame structure, bigger time frame chart. I think looking at the chart setup wise, definitely we have seen some quite a lot volatility in last couple of days in this stock. From 850 levels now it's around 750 levels. So setup wise, it's not that great. Let me pull out the daily chart. अगर हम लेवल्स के बारे में बात करें तो आज हमने ऑलमोस्ट स्टॉक 7 to 8% नीचे है. And if you see support wise, it's near support zone around 720, 730 levels. But clearly एक downtrend वाला counter है, upside में 820, 850 hurdle है. So कोई भी bounces आता है, better to exit this counter because the bigger trend of the stock is clearly downtrend.
So Mahindra and Mahindra.
Auto space is finding some resilience in last couple of days, and ये सेक्टर जो है काफी टाइम से अंडर परफॉर्म किया है. सो अगर हम ओवरऑल एमएनएम का चार्ट देखें, सो एक फॉल्स ब्रेकडाउन दिया था उसने लास्ट मंथ, पर एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रिकवरी वापस हमने देखी है. सो वीकली स्केल पे अगर देखें तो जहां से ये मंदी शुरू हुई थी अराउंड 3000 के लेवल्स तक का 2920 तक का स्टॉक अभी वहीं आया है. So I think better to wait and watch for couple of days. 2930 would be important level. 2930 की क्लोजिंग के ऊपर वापस हमें 3000 3050 तक का मूव देख सकता है. बट करंट जंक्शन पर रिस्क रिवॉर्ड इज नॉट फेवरेबल फ्रॉम द लॉन्ग साइड. ओवरऑल बायस वुड बी पॉजिटिव पोजिशनल.
So sudden
there was continuously follow-up selling, and we used to suggest that sell on bounce was our stance. Now the stance has changed from sell on bounce to buy on dips. And generally, whenever we see this structure, buy on dips, that clearly indicates that after an up move, there will be some dip, and then again there could be some recovery from the lower levels. And this is the classical pattern that we follow, especially the intraday players on the index front. And this is so far has been working really well. So the bigger trend of the market as of now is positive. एंड सपोर्ट अगर हम देखें तो 24,250 200 वहां पे सपोर्ट लिया है और वहां से वापस रिबाउंड हुआ है. सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द बिगर ट्रेंड ऑफ द मार्केट लुकिंग एट द मंथली एंड द वीकली चार्ट, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी हैव टू प्ले दैट स्विंग थ्रू आर्ली एंड 15 मिनट चार्ट. इसके लिए अगर हम देखें तो सेशन के स्टार्टिंग से हम मल्टीपल टाइम फ्रेम्स को देख के उसको एनालाइज करके एंड उसको प्ले कर रहे हैं. सो एक इंपॉर्टेंट लेवल आप ध्यान रखिए लेवल्स वाइज. 24,200 निफ्टी में इमीडिएट बेसिस पे, बैंक निफ्टी में 55,000. जब तक ये दो लेवल्स के ऊपर है, अब बायस वुड बी पॉजिटिव फॉर बुलिश बायस.
So we'll take one last query for the day. Suzlon.
Suzlon, once we have seen a very classical up move in last 1 year, but post that एक स्टॉक एक रेंज में फंसा हुआ है. हम लोग काफी टाइम से रडार पे भी, बट वीकली स्केल पे नीचे में जाता है 50, ऊपर में जाता है 61, एंड तब तक ये मोमेंटम फिजल आउट हो जाता है. सो लेवल वाइज अगर पोजिशनल देखें 61, आई विल रिपीट 61 एक मेजर लेवल है. 61 की क्लोजिंग के ऊपर ये स्टॉक का बेस ऊपर की तरफ शिफ्ट हो जाएगा टुवर्ड्स 65 70 तक का. तो जब तक ये रेंज में है आपको ये रेंज ही प्ले करनी पड़ेगी. फ्रेश मोमेंटम 61 की क्लोजिंग के ऊपर ही होगा टुवर्ड्स 65 70 लेवल्स. देयर विल बी फ्यू काउंटर्स जो रेंज में फंस जाते हैं, सो आपको वो रेंज ही प्ले करनी पड़ेगी. So yeah, just having said that, I'll just summarize few things that we've already discussed. So Nifty 24,200 is the immediate support. Bank Nifty 55,000 will be the immediate support. Upside में Nifty में 24,444, 24,800 positionally. Bank Nifty में 56,000, 56,500 will be the upside target. स्टॉक्स वाइज में मजडॉक हमने बीटीएसटी दिया है. सीडीआई कॉल्स में एचएएल, आईसीआईसीआई बैंक लुक्स गुड फ्रॉम 1 week to 2 weeks perspective. Tomorrow we have monthly expiry. Definitely overnight we really don't know what will happen on the geopolitical front, but at least your sizing, your positioning and your hedging would be very much important. So follow risk management properly, and stocks के लिए result season आप उसकी date देखें, that would be very much helpful. So with this we'd like to summarize and conclude the session.
So guys, that will be all from our side. Thank you everyone. Thank you Arpit sir for taking out time and giving us a detailed explanation and a market overview on multiple aspects and multiple sectors. So we'll be back again soon. Tomorrow we have monthly expiry for Sensex. Don't forget to join in. Thank you everyone. Thank you Arpit sir.
Thank you.